Okay, here is a look at Transformers Studio Series Megatron from Transformers the movie. So here you could see I got two of them. So now let's do a unboxing and first impressions. So here is a look at the Studio Series Megatron. And real quick, let's go over the accessories. So here they give you a handgun of Megatron in his gun mode, so other figures can hold it. And you get the sword from the movie when he was attacking Optimus. And then he does have the cannon that I already attached on there, and the barrel on the back as well. So yeah, it's a nice looking figure. And real quick, the instructions, I always try to go over them, and yeah, this is a huge instructions, so you could see just how big this is. I forgot, it said 50 something steps for the transformation. Yeah, this is I don't know, I think it's pretty easy. There's already a lot of reviews out there for the transformation and stuff. But anyways, here you could see what Megatron looks like, and let's come up, take a closer look at the nicely sculpted head, the chest. They did add a little bit more detail throughout the figure, so this is still, well, this is kind of tune accurate, just with a little bit of the extra detail that does look nice. And I'm kind of spoiled now after Fans Toys Menasor, so I can appreciate even more all the extra sculpted in detail, which makes the figure look really nice. So now let's do some comparison. So first, let's compare this with the animation model, and you could see that yeah, I think they did a nice job capturing the toon aesthetics. There are things that are a little off here and there, but I don't need to mention all those things because you could pretty much see them for yourself. But yeah, overall I think it's nice, and I'll just address the thing that a lot of people talk about, which is, you know, the I don't know what colors. It's a shade of gray, but you know, on the blue side, like maybe too much blue. It does yeah, that was one of those people. I'm really bothered by it, and I am kind of bothered by it. All I could say is it's not as blue as it appears, you know, in all the reviews and stuff that we see. It is, you know, a little bit more gray, but you know, I'll show you the comparisons just to point out some more differences. So for the first comparison, let's bring out the original G1. And this is probably the last time I'm gonna compare the original G1 and just leave that all up to Engo, because yeah, this is just so much more work. And for me, I think what's more important to compare these with, even though Engo said it's a different category, so he doesn't bring it out. Here he is next to the Masterpiece version, and this is the fourth party KO, or third party KO of the Takata Megatron. So this version, you could see they did clean up, they did give you an extra piece here to clean up the back, which looks really nice. But yeah, you could see the difference, and I said I was going to point out the difference here, so you could just see the difference between the color of the shins. Yeah, I kind of wish that they would have gone gray, but you know, because you know Hasbro, you just have to wonder if this is done deliberately, and then they're going to release a different version with the gray, and then you're going to complain this is the way they should have did it the first time. But anyways, there's a look at the comparison with the masterpiece. And let's compare this with the previous version. This one is the that 3-pack. I already forgot the name, the Nemesis or something. So this one, you know, is supposed to be a little bit more tune accurate, and this one has the nice silver on the shins. And yeah, you know, it's hard for me to really say anything bad about the figures because I understand things from a design perspective, and looking at it from a design perspective, so I can appreciate, you know, that how nice this looks. I mean, look at all the nicely sculpted detail here. Like I said, it needs to be throughout the figure, so that's what makes it look nice. And the same goes with the new Studio Series version, but you just saw him fall there, and that's another category, the third category I go by, which is the form and function. So you could see this does not function very well with the stability. And the engineering, you know, these are both mainline retail, so these are pretty easy and intuitive to transform, which makes these figures really fun. So I think that's one of the biggest appeal for adult collectors who still collect these. It's because they do look nice and they're, you know, fun to play with because they're easy to transform. But anyways, I'm starting to ramble. And then for another comparison, here he is next to the Studio Series Optimus Prime. And I wanted to just share some things. When the first images of Megatron came out, and then I put him next to the Optimus, and knowing that they're making a leader class Soundwave, a Astro Train, another version of Shockwave, and I didn't bring it out, but I saw him next to Starscream. I knew right then, before it was announced, that we were going to get a new version of Thundercracker, which means we're also getting a Starscream and Skywarp. And that does kind of create a different problem, which, you know, I'll mention all of that later near the end. But anyways, here's a look at the Megatron. And in terms of articulation, let's just go over this really quick. The head is it on a ball joint? Yeah, it's on a ball joint, so it can go down, it can go up, it can rotate side to side all around. You can see the shoulders, they can go out to the side, they can go forward and back. And because of the transformation, you do get a butterfly joint, reverse butterfly joint, and a butterfly joint. So that's really cool. And then you get the bicep swivel, you do get elbow bend past 90 degrees, you get the fist rotation, and the fingers do open up. Yeah, that's kind of cool for a mainline retail figure. And you spread his arms out, and you could see he does have a nice waist rotation. And does he have an ab crunch? No, he doesn't have an ab crunch, but he does have these side hip skirts, so his legs can go out to the side, and they can go forward and back. And then he does have thigh rotation, and he does have a knee bend 90 degrees. And he does have ankle rocker and no toe tilt up or down. So basically, it's pretty much your standard articulation. So I'm just going to do it now. Yeah, maybe you can get some really cool dynamic poses out of this. Yeah, that's I think that's kind of cool. It's just the blast effects. They didn't give you any blast effects. And I know MGO already went over it. The slot in there for the port from the blast effects, it's really in deep, so it just makes me wonder why they did that. But anyways, here is a look at the Studio Series Megatron. So now let's transform Megatron to his alt mode and take a look at that. And here is a look at Megatron in his vehicle alt mode. And now let's first compare this with the animation model. And you could see that this is definitely not tune accurate. So yeah, this might be a disappointment to a lot of people, but you know, this is the way it is now. Megatron is always going to be a tank here in the US. So now let's zoom in and take a closer look at all the details. And yeah, let's try to be a little positive here and just appreciate all the nicely sculpted detail, the wheels and the treads, and the different shade of color here, which you can argue that it does add some accent with the little different colors. And the change here in the colors where the front barrel here is gray and over here it's all black. And it does roll on wheels, 2 wheels on the bottom, 1 big wheel in the front. So yeah, and then it does rotate, so that's a positive. But yeah, you could see it looks a little funky, but yeah, trying to stay positive. But yeah, it's a nice looking alt mode, so to speak. And so now for some comparisons, let's compare this with the original G1. So here you could see what the original G1 looks like, and this one has a nice trigger. So yeah, I'm just trying to tease you guys here just to kind of disappoint you with this figure. But yeah, there is a look at the original G1. And then the previous version, where actually there was a lot of reissues with this one, but this is the Takata Dramatic Capture Series Nemesis Bridge, which has the nice silver paint finish. And yeah, I'm not gonna do the comparisons here. I'll just, because it's all visually, this is all subjective. It just depends on, you know, which one you think looks better. I'll just tell you, for me, my personal opinion, I think the nice silver finish looks nice, and this one also has all this nicely sculpted detail, which makes it look nice. But unfortunately, both of these are not very tune accurate. And then just for another comparison here, let's bring out the original, I mean not the original, but the Studio Series Optimus Prime. And I got a little distracted because his smokestack came off, and that's, yeah, as we all know, one of the issues with the Studio Series Optimus Prime. The smokestacks easily come untabbed. But yeah, now you can see, you can have a nice little battle going on here. Oh, you can bring out those little blast effects when he's launching. So you can get some nice, you know, pictures out of this. That's what makes his mainline retail figures fun to play with. So that is a look at Megatron in his vehicle alt mode. So now let's transform him back to robot mode and have our final thoughts. Okay, now that we have Megatron back in robot mode, here I want to just share a few more things before I give you my final thoughts. So first, you can see here is the New Age and the Magic Square mini masterpiece version of Megatron. And let's see if we could bring these up a little closer so you can get a better view. And the whole point to this is just to show you, you know, the difference that Magic Square does capture the cartoon aesthetics much more accurately than, you know, the other two, especially in the alt mode. And that's understandable. The Hasbro version is not going to transform into a gun. And this is not a comparison with Magic Square or New Age, but I am acknowledging that I agree with a lot of people's opinion that aesthetically, Magic Square's version of Megatron definitely looks a little bit more pleasing than the New Age. So yeah, but the main thing is I just wanted to show you the comparison and also maybe here is a good time to also just take a look at the lower legs. It depends on kind of the lighting. I heard someone say that. But anyways, there's another comparison. And here I wanted to bring this out because this now finally has a purpose on the display. Because I don't know, I'm just making things up here, but I think this was made for the Studio Series version of Megatron, because you could see he fits just so perfectly here on this chair, so on this throne. So look at this. This looks really, really nice. I really like the look of this, and so this is going to be on my display. And there is one last thing I wanted to share you that I said I would share. One of the kind of issues with this near the end, so I'll point that out. And that is the scale. So the issue here is with the scale. And if you remember in the beginning, I was telling you that when the images of Megatron first came out, I put him next to the Studio Series Optimus Prime, which looks, they scale really well with each other. And then knowing that they're coming out with the Leader Class Soundwave, I knew it was going to be about the same height. And when I put Optimus here, I could see, there is a problem. Starscream's too small. So that's when I knew that they were going to give us a new version of Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp, because they need to scale with each other. So now my point is, with the issue I told you, you're basically starting a whole nother collection of all this. So this, whatever you call it, the War for Cybertron, Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom, Legacy, United, all that stuff. This line has now just become old. So all these figures, I don't know where all these figures are going to go, because the scale now is off. So basically now with the new Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, the Soundwave, and the Shockwave coming out, you're starting a whole nother new collection. But anyways, I just wanted to share all that in case anyone might be interested. But as far as this figure goes, this is a really nice figure. And if you have the Studio Series Optimus Prime, this is definitely worth getting, because these two go really nice together, you know, to have a versus. And so, yeah, but as far as the figure goes, this is overall a really nice figure, especially in robot mode. The alt mode is a little questionable, but it still works. It's still nice. But yeah, that's it. And I don't, in terms of recommendations, you already know I don't give recommendations, because if you want it, you'll get it. If you don't, you won't. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to get this, because he's the, you know, main character for the Decepticons, the leader of the Decepticons. But anyways, no more rambling. That's my final thoughts and review for the Studio Series Transformers the movie Megatron.
Reach, stand, defend!